this is Noreen from Joy of Cards. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! Anyway, for more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, make sure you click on that subscribe button right there, right there, right there. And there's a little bell, and if you hit that bell as well, you'll be the first to be notified when I post new videos. So that's cool. Now, this is video number 2. Video number 1 of this card, and it's a 3-part series because there's a couple of things I did on here that are a little tricky. One is I hand painted this background. Yes, I painted with Stampin' Up! Refills and a paintbrush. And the first video, if you go back and if you subscribe and go into my library, you'll see that we created this background. Isn't that pretty? So that's video number 1. Video number 2, the other trick, if you notice, and if you've got Stampin' Up! Stamps, you'll know this is silhouette scenes, but wow, I don't remember that stamp being that small, and that's because it's not. Here's the original stamp, and here is what I created, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's get started. So we're just going to take the stamp here, and I put it on this E-block. We're going to just take some memento. And you don't even have to necessarily get it all that dark or anything. Just take it on some Whisper White because you don't need to use shimmer white or anything. We're just making a template. So it's not really dark, who cares? And I'm even going to cut this off and I'll be right back. And this is how I did it. I have a Brother SDX125 scan and cut machine. Now, this, I mean, it looks scary, but it's not. It looks complicated, but it's not. It's actually pretty kind of easy to figure it out. It's not too bad. So what I did is I took that stamped image and I put it on my mat. So these mats that Brother makes for this machine are absolutely terrible. If you have a Cricut, it makes the Cricut mats look like, oh my gosh, they're the best things in the world. This is a piece of garbage, but there's a way around it, and we all do it, is that we have to tape our images down. Even when these mats are fairly new, they go bad quick. So what you do is I use just the yellow delicate frog tape, and I tape it down. Do not use washi tape. I learned the hard way that washi tape can come off inside the machine and wrap around the scan rollers. And mine did that, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to take it in and get it repaired. And I said, well, you know, there's only a solid line going down right here. So I just continued to use it just all on the other side until it eventually worked its way off, but I got lucky. So don't use washi tape. So go ahead and use some painter's tape and tape these down. The new purple tape that's out, they redesigned it. It's also garbage. Don't waste your money with it. It has the cute little design on it. It doesn't stick. It's, yeah, I went to this stuff. So anyway, tape your image down and then put it on the mats. Now these mats are kind of finicky. So you're going to put it up against it. You know, when you turn your machine on, it's going to look like this. And you need to load your mat in first. The loading mat button is the middle one right here, and we're going to see if it does its thing. Yep, it does its thing, so we got lucky. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to scan this image because we're going to scan it in, we're going to save it, go back, and we're going to scale it down. And that's how I made my image. So first of all, I am going to scan, and then you're going to have these 3 options: a direct cut, which will just cut and go, and you can't save anything. The third one is you're going to scan to a USB, which we're not going to do, and there's some more options. But the one we're going to use is the middle one, and it's scan to cut data. And what that means is it's going to scan it in, and we can save it. So that's the one we want to use. So the one in the middle, and this just tells you you're on a 12 by 12 mat. That's no big deal. And now it's going to do its scanning thing. So make sure when you're using this that there's nothing behind the machine. And I just happen to have mine on the floor, so I'm having a good old time here. So it's going to scan, and it's going to pull up the image in your screen here. And once you've got that on, and this is very typical for a lot of stuff, if you ever like print pictures like at Walgreens or whatever, you have to crop your stuff. So we're going to crop this image right here. Now it's also going to scan my tape in there, which is fine. So we're just bringing it up to the image and hit OK. Now here's the thing about the scan and cut. What it's doing is it's looking for a closed image, like a circle is a closed image. If you have something that's open, like it's just open like that, it'll do all kinds of funky things. So this is a closed image. So if you have a stamp, let's say this was just a line and there was an open spot here, it wasn't a closed image, you want to take a pencil and close that image, because what it's doing is it's cutting around it. It can go inside, and that's a totally different video if I decide to do one. And that's actually the next thing right here. When you look at the screen, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but there are two little icons here. This one has a closed image and this one has a circle and a square around it. You want that closed image. So it's processing it, and then we're going to hit OK. And now it's got three icons, the machine, a laptop, or a USB. We want to save everything in the machine. You can hook this up to a laptop and it's great, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to bring out my laptop and do that next level. If you're into that, that's great. This is just, we're just making cards. You know, I just want my cards to be made. So we're not going to pull out my laptop. So it saved it in the machine. So you don't have to bring it out. So it's naming it number 15 image. So I'm going to go OK. So it's in the machine right now. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go to the home. And then you're going to get a confusing message after you hit home. It's going to say OK to delete all patterns. And it's OK because we saved it. We're not worried about that image anymore. Now you're back to your home screen, and I want to bring up this image so I can edit it. So I'm going to go retrieve data, and then you got your four icons here, laptop and a USB. Well, we're going to go to the machine because we're just keeping it simple. And there's my image 15 right there. So that's my image. So that's how you save it into your machine, and you do need to save it if you want to edit it. Now I'm going to take the mat out here, and I'm going to take off my original stamped image, and I'm going to take a piece of black paper because I want it in the black, and I'm just going to put it up here for now because even though I might have to move it, I don't think I will. And I'm going to use that painter's tape and make sure it's down good. Make sure your image is down good as well, or your paper is down good, because if it's just kind of floating on the mat when it goes to cut it, it won't cut. So just make sure it's down, your tape is all down, and then we're going to go back to here. And actually, let's go ahead and load the mat. So I'm going to put the mat up to the edge, and I'm going to load it. And it loaded fine, which is great. Now, we're going to take this image here and go OK, and then we're going to edit it. And this is really easy. We're going to go to Edit, and we're going to Object Edit, and I'm going to make it smaller, which is the top left-hand little icon. And it's going to give you some measurements. Now, when I was doing this card, I wrote these measurements down because I actually have this saved. So I'm going to take it down to 2.48, which is what I made for the card. So you just hit the height one, and it will do its thing. Now, if you notice, the width is moving at the same time, because right now I have it set to still make this like a rectangle. Now, if I just wanted to do the height instead of the width, I'll show you how to do that in a second as soon as I'm done here. So I really took this down. So I did 2.48 by 1.49. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so I'm lying. So 2.48 is that, and 1.49. If you do need to adjust it, I don't know why I did that, but just this box right here will let you do them either together or individually. So if you wanted to keep a square, then push that on, and it'll do it by ratio. It'll move one and not the, it'll move both. So I wanted to move one without the other, so to be 2.48 by 1.49, which is what's on my card. And I just played with the sizes until I got one that was good on my card. So that's how I came up with that. I didn't like figure it out math-wise. I did trial and error. So I'm going to hit OK. So what I did is I took that original scan, and if you were watching me push down the numbers, this image got smaller. So I'm going to hit OK again. And I'm going to hit OK again. And I'm going to save this because I might want to make this card later. So I'm going to hit save. It's going to go to the computer. And I am going to go a new one because maybe I want that original stamp. So I'm saving it right now since number 16. I'm going OK. And then I'm going to go OK. And then you're going to hit please select. And you can actually draw, emboss, foil. You can do all kinds of stuff with this machine. So, but I don't. So I'm just going to cut this because I'm just making a card. Just give me a card, right? And I'm going to hit start. And now it's going to, and make sure that it's all down here, it's going to cut it. Now, if you find that after it cuts, it's like not cutting very crisp, what has happened is that your mat is most likely the one to blame because these mats are terrible, as I said. So if this came out really junky, then it's most likely your mat is dirty. Just move it to another section where it's not as dirty, or try to scrape off whatever's underneath and cut it again, and it'll probably be fine. So it already cut the image, so I'm going to hit OK. And then all we do is take it off and we will have our image. So ta-da! So that's how I turn this regular stamped image into a smaller one. And here's my negative. And to put on my card. So that is video number 2. Don't forget, if you're a first-time subscriber and you put in the comments, hey, I like the card, and put your email. I can't contact you unless I have your email. And you put your email down, you might win the demo card. So yay. So this is video 2 of 3 videos on making this card. The first one was to make the background. Second one was using the scan and cut to make this image. And the third one now, the next one is to make the card. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and that little bell, ding, 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 so you know when I put on the third video. So, and it's probably going to be the next Thursday. So anyway, that'll do it. Thanks. Bye.